there's a ton of benefits for veterans in general, but there are a lot of extra ones for veterans living in California specifically. VA loans typically have lower interest rates, so that helps in today's market, especially with lowering your monthly payment.
I think that there is no better loan out there because you can get 100% financing. There's no mortgage insurance. You get the best of everything. This is why you want to work with a VA expert, because I said something wrong. She caught it immediately and she corrected it. We all should be so grateful for these men and women that have served to help us live a better life.
These are benefits that you deserve because of the service that you've given to our country.
All right, we're here talking about VA. So if you're a veteran living in California, you're going to want to watch this video. And we're just going to talk about some of the benefits related to veterans that have served in the military living here in California at this time. If you're new to the channel and want to know everything there is to know about living in California, subscribe below and click the bell for notifications to be the first to know about the current market. My name is Rob. I'm here with our VA expert at Resquared Mortgage, Katie, and I just wanted to let you guys know that we get calls and text messages every single day from people just like you that are looking to buy a new home or wanting to know more information about VA loans or just lending in general. So if you're interested in buying a new home, if you're a veteran, please reach out to us, give us a call, shoot us a text, or you can book a call over Zoom and we'd be happy to help you. So if you're looking to buy in the next 9 to 90 days, reach out to us. We'll get you the help that you need. All right, Katie, let's jump into this here. Right. So let's talk about all things VA. So being a veteran, there are benefits that come with that for those that have served. So what are some of the benefits that we can talk about for the vets that they could take advantage of?
Yeah, there's a ton of benefits for veterans in general, but there are a lot of extra ones for veterans living in California specifically. Everyone knows that you can have your college paid for by the GI Bill, but one thing that people don't know about California is they have another college waiver that helps veterans' dependents go to school and have a portion of that paid for. Everyone knows college is expensive.
Sure.
So any help that people can get with that is amazing. And
absolutely.
There's 4 different plans. So depending on the type of service that you served, and if you're a child of a veteran or dependent of a veteran or a surviving spouse, it's kind of tiered in 4 different plans. So that's one thing I think is incredible. Anything to save people money, right? That's
Sure.
what everyone's looking for right now. One of the other thing is if you're a veteran and you want to open your own business and sell goods of some sort, anything in sales, if you want to go sell t-shirts or any kind of goods, then your business fee, your licensing fees and your taxes can be waived for that. So they really do
nice.
support veteran entrepreneurship, which I think that's amazing too. The other thing is they encourage veterans to go outdoors. So they want, if you have a 50% disability rating or higher, they're giving you a lifetime free pass to state parks. And that includes just day passes or camping or boating. So
is that something that they have to apply for?
Yeah. So all of this information can be found on the veterans website in your local area or calvet.gov. That is where most of your resources are going to be to tell you where to go to find these things. The biggest thing really is the VA home loan. I mean, everyone that's a veteran wants to buy a house, or majority I think do eventually. And there are a ton of perks to purchasing a home using your VA loan. You do have to have some service requirements met, like if you were active duty or if you're National Guard or a reserve, there are different requirements. And you want to have this form called your Certificate of Eligibility, or COE, and that will tell you if you're eligible for this 0% down VA home loan. So it's important. You can pull that on your own, but if you're looking to purchase a home, work with a loan officer or lender that knows how to get these things for you. Because depending on the type of service, it could be tricky what forms you need. If you were discharged, you need your DD-214. And if you served a long time ago, you may not have it. So you have to go access it, request for a new DD-214 somehow.
So that can be requested?
Yeah. So it just depends on the type of service you did, whether it's National Archives so that's why it's important to just work with someone that knows where to find these things so they can guide you in the right direction based off of your service. But the biggest thing with the VA home loan is a 0% down payment. I think that's the biggest thing people are struggling with right now, is coming up with enough money for down payment and for closing costs. And so that can help with that portion. VA loans typically have lower interest rates, so that helps in today's market, especially with lowering your monthly payment. They don't have PMI, so that's another thing that's huge. You typically will have PMI on your loan unless you're putting a 20% down payment. So you can put 0% down and have no PMI and a lower rate. I truly believe it's the best loan out there. I mean, if you can qualify for it, then definitely look into it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think that if you are a veteran that has served where you have the disability, I think that there is no better loan out there, because you can get 100% financing.
Mm-hmm.
You get typically a lower rate like you were talking about. There's no mortgage insurance.
Yeah.
So like you get the best of everything. And I think it's great that they've come up with a loan to help those that have served our country, right? I mean, we all should be so grateful for these men and women that have served to help us live a better life. I do think that, if you're a veteran that has served and you do have the certificate of eligibility because you've been disabled of some sort, like there is no better loan out there.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there's no funding fee.
Right.
So
I'm going to cut you off, Rob. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
The certificate of eligibility is not, it's just saying they're eligible for it, not that they're disabled.
I always get that wrong. I always say that wrong. It's
so if you meet the COE just shows that you're eligible based off of your service requirement, like that your service requirements have been met. So, but the disability rating is the other portion of that.
So if you qualify from the disability standpoint, then you can get your funding fee waived.
Yes.
So that, like, to me is like, there's no better loan. Like if you get that waived, 100% financing, typically lower interest rate.
Yep.
And there's no mortgage insurance.
Yeah. And
you can't find that anywhere.
No. And the biggest thing with the disability portion of that is you don't necessarily have to be receiving that disability pay already to have that waived. If you've applied for it and it's been approved, but you're not necessarily receiving the disability pay, if you're getting any, you can still have that waived. So if you, and I believe it's 10% disability rating or higher, then that can be waived. So that with the funding fee, that can be tied into the loan, or you can pay for it up front. Typically people will tie it into the loan just because if you're doing 0% down, you're trying to save your money up front where you can. But if you have that disability rating, which your COE will show you what your rating is, and if it's not on there and you feel like you should be receiving disability, then you need to file for that before your loan closes. That way it can be waived before your loan starts. So
I just want to point out, like, this is why you want to work with a VA expert, because I said something wrong. She caught it immediately and she corrected it. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But again, you want to work with somebody that knows what they're talking about and knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yeah,
because it's going to help and benefit you.
Right. And there are times that maybe, you started your loan and maybe your underwriter's not super familiar with VA loans. There's been plenty of times that your loan officer can take a snippet from the VA guidelines and send it to the underwriter and say, look, this isn't right. Here's what it should be per this guideline. So you need to work with someone that is aware of these things and how they're supposed to be happening. One of the other things is if your appraisal with a VA loan, if your appraisal comes in low, you have two options to request a higher value. So if your appraisal comes in low, typically you have to either come up with the difference between what the value was and what your purchase price is, or you have to renegotiate and have the seller come down, or you guys can meet in the middle. But with VA, you have the option, the appraiser can request something called Tidewater, and that's if the value comes in lower than the purchase price. The real estate agents have to supply comps to meet that purchase price, and they can either say, yeah, that sounds good, or no, that's not right. And if that happens, then they can also request a reconsideration of value, and that's where the lender jumps in and says, no, this is where the value needs to be. So I just think that's one more thing that's kind of that's pretty powerful, actually, because you want to make sure your house is worth what you're purchasing. That's the first part, but you want to make sure that if the value should be higher based off of comps, that it's taken care of like that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Anything else that you have to share? Any other bits of information that would be beneficial?
Again, I just think it's really important to work with someone that's familiar with these types of loans and to look for other benefits that are out there. And if you're not sure, then ask. You can go to your local veterans agency, and they should be able to give you all of the information that you need for whether it's the college credits or the property taxes. They are there to support you. And so don't be afraid to reach out and ask for that help. These are benefits that you deserve because of the service that you've given to our country. So.
Absolutely. Well, Katie, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Appreciate you being here and talking to us about all things VA and veterans. So again, those that have served in the military, I just want to thank you for your service. It's much appreciated. I am very grateful for the freedoms that I enjoy because of men and women like you that have fought for our freedom. So thank you very much.